Hey guys, today's video is all about sororities and my personal experience when rushing and joining a sorority. Also, just, throwing some advice out there, giving you guys some pointers and stuff. Basically, I just wanted to share my personal experience in the hopes that it could help people kind of undecided or on the fence about rushing. Just a little background about my sorority experience. I rushed a sorority my freshman year. I was a member the whole freshman year and the beginning of my sophomore year. Some of you guys that know my story a little bit better would know that the beginning of my sophomore year, so the fall semester of my sophomore year of college, I contracted mono and I had to withdraw from school. At that point, I wasn't an active member of my sorority because I wasn't actually attending the school where that sorority resided. When I returned to that school for my spring semester, I just chose not to kind of rejoin or reactivate my membership or whatever in that sorority. And before I pretty much just tell you guys anything else, I just want to say that I am not bashing any sorority at all. I'm not criticizing Greek life. It's a good way to get to know people and get more involved with your school. I'm just personally sharing my story. I'm not a typical sorority girl, so I thought that it would be kind of helpful to tell other girls kind of what I went through. So obviously I'm not going to say what sorority I was active in because I'm not a member anymore and I don't want them to think that I'm like personally criticizing or, there's probably someone watching that knows what sorority I was in, so mum's the word on that one. My sorority experience, the school I went to for the first 2 years, I'm now at a different school, but that school was pretty small. I think it caps at about 6,000 students every year. My whole class, like class of 2015 I think it was at that time, we were all pretty close. We had this like Facebook group that a lot of people would post in, and a lot of girls were like, oh, I'm so excited to rush, blah blah blah. I was never really into it. My mom was not a member of a sorority. Like I said, I'm not really a typical sorority girl. I just kind of don't identify with that. All these girls started posting and they all seemed really cool and friendly, and I thought maybe it would be a good way to meet friends and, kind of establish myself on campus and get a good friend base going. I asked on that Facebook wall, I was like, should I rush? Like, I don't know. And like 20 girls were like, oh my gosh, yes, like we'll be best friends, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up doing it. I signed up like 2 days before the deadline, which just shows how like not into it I initially was. And I got to move in a week early, which I also thought was a plus because I was like, I can get to know campus a little bit better and move in before the initial dorm rush because I did live in a dorm my freshman year. So I'm not really going to talk that much about the rush process. If you guys are interested in a sorority at all, you kind of will know what's going to happen. Basically, you just go to a lot of parties and you try to market yourself, pretty much is all I can think about it. They'll pretty much pick you if they want you to come back. They'll kind of tell you to come back. It's different at every school, so like I said, I'm not going to go into it because it really won't be helpful if you're not attending the same college I attended. When I actually, started pledging or whatever, I found it was an easy process. They didn't really haze me at all or anything. Our school is pretty good about that. I liked it at first, but I am not the kind of girl that gets along with a bunch of other girls. Not saying that every girl is fake or every girl is a bitch. I personally just don't really like drama, and again, not saying that every girl starts drama or anything like that. I just can't be fake to someone if I don't like them and like try to make an effort to talk to someone just because they're like, an older sister or whatever. That's just not my deal. And that's kind of a big deal in sorority life. You have to really get involved. Honestly, with sorority life and, fraternity life, any pretty much club on campus, you get out of it what you put into it. There was a lot of stuff that we had to do. I didn't want to do it because I just wanted to hang out with my other friends, and so I would get fined like $50 or $70 for not going to like a dinner or something. Just be prepared that if you are going to rush, you are pretty much expected to do a lot of stuff, to show up to a lot of things, and to put in a lot of hours. Around our campus, community service hours are really important, and not that I didn't like helping people, but I never really found something that I really enjoyed doing. I couldn't really find a niche for my community service outlet, so I just didn't really like going to it. So I didn't go and I didn't get any hours. Basically just some other stuff. I had some drama with a girl that was in my sorority, which again is completely my personal story. Not everyone that goes and rushes a sorority is going to have that girl that they just don't mesh with. Basically, my overall experience with the sorority was that I felt that it was a lot of work for friends. I felt that I was kind of trying to buy my friends, and I didn't really hang out with any of the girls in my sorority at all either. Some girls I would walk past, some of like older sisters or something, we'd walk past wearing the same letters, like the sorority letters on our shirts, and they like wouldn't even say anything to me, which I thought was kind of off-putting a little bit. I just never really felt welcome, but again, I'm just the kind of girl that doesn't get along with a lot of girls, so maybe I kind of fell through the cracks. I'm not really sure. Now, for some people that, maybe their parents, like their legacy, which means your mom or one of your relatives was in the same sorority. They really take it seriously because it's kind of a big family tradition, which I completely understand. And I know that some people are really into it and they really get into that kind of club mantra, but just for me, I do better with small groups of friends, and I never really felt at home in that personal crowd. I know at the same time that a lot of girls really, really like it, and I'm not trying to bash it. Like I say a million times, I really am not trying to say sororities suck, like you shouldn't do them. If you kind of feel like you have the same personality as me, maybe you just don't really like girls that much. Not saying that I don't, but just if you don't feel like you get along with people that well in a crowd, or you don't like being the center of attention sometimes, like if you're a pledge, you don't like getting called out, you don't like spending money on clothes, or going to meetings all the time and, you know, possibly getting fines if you don't do it, I would kind of recommend against joining. You can always rush and then not pledge, which is what some girls did. If you feel like you're like me, I wouldn't say that it's a waste of money, but I don't really look back on it as a great experience. I did meet a couple girls that I'm still friends with, but it's not, you know, something that I wish I had done and I would do it again if I had the chance. So I hope this video is helpful. I kind of feel like I'm just generally talking about my experience, but I feel like it's kind of helpful to hear an experience from a girl that's no longer a part of a sorority. I just chose not to continue being a member, and some people do have this reaction, you know, it's just not for you. And some people go on and they love it and they become president of their sorority and they hold, you know, a title, and that's great too. You know, everyone's different, and that's why you have a lot of different diversity on campus and you can join a bunch of different clubs. But yeah, I hope that was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll try to get back, and I hope this wasn't too vague. Like I said, I can't really say what school I went to just for personal reasons, and I can't say what sorority I pledged because you just can't really divulge that information. You know, if you're not a member anymore, it's kind of like hush hush. So yeah, guys, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of this face. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And that happened with you can non-sorority girls.
So obviously I'm not going to say the member, so obviously I'm not going to say what sorority I was. So obviously I'm not going to say what sorority I was active in just because I'm not a member anymore, and so obviously I'm not.
In my experience, ugh.